The ayes are 51. The nays are 48. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is passed.
Today, we are giving the people of this country their money back.
FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe was grilled for more than 7 hours.
You're talking about a lawyer whose wife took $700,000 from a Clinton crony, and he refused to recuse himself.
Homeland Security Department pointing the finger at Pyongyang for a devastating cyber crime.
President Trump has used just about every lever you can use, short of starving the people of North Korea to death, to change their behavior.
A major publication alleging the Obama administration may have sabotaged its own government investigators' efforts to stop the Hezbollah terror group.
You know, the Politico story, they quote a couple of low-level ideological sources.
To say that the people that I quoted were low-level people is sort of ridiculous.
Does the president believe in the existence of UFOs?
Somehow that question hasn't come up in our back and forth over the last couple days.
Watching Fox and Friends on this Wednesday before Christmas. Ho, 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 hold everything. Where'd Brian go?
I don't know, but Santa Steve is here. With the ho, ho, ho.
You know,
Good
just
morning,
enjoy.
Good morning, thank you.
Good morning.
Great to be here.
Enjoy this time, because when Christmas arrives, you know, you wake up the next day and you're like, it's over. So just enjoy this week as we are building up.
But can't you extend Christmas all the way to New Year's? Like, I feel like the 26th, 27th, 28th, just enjoy those like they're Christmas as well.
You can, but I just get this ping of like, I know that's that's a bad attitude, isn't it? Just right after Christmas, I'm like, oh, I got to wait another year.
No.
Well, we're delighted you would join us today because we're celebrating the week, and Christmas is on Monday, and Pete is in for Brian. And take a look at this right here.
Yeah, historic.
It's a wrap. Straight to a Fox News alert. The Senate making history overnight.
If you just wake it up, the first major rewrite of the U.S. tax code in 31 years, clearing a major hurdle. And we could now be just a few hours away from a major win for the Republican Party.
Griff Jenkins is live in Washington, D.C., where there's still work to be done before the president can sign the bill. Griff, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. A little more work to be done, but Ainsley, it is definitely on its way to the president's desk. The Senate had to make minor changes to the House bill so it would fit their arcane budget rules. Specifically, there were 3 provisions, one of which included the actual title of the bill itself. But the House will vote again sometime around noon today on this modified version. And make no mistake, we are witnessing history. And 5 hours ago, it began when the Senate passed this straight down party line. 51-48. All Republicans for it, all Democrats against it. Senator McCain absent, Vice President Pence presiding over it. At times it was very passionate. Even protesters had to be removed. But in the end, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying that this will strengthen the country.
If you look at the last 8 years, America has consistently underperformed. Not one year at 3% growth. Not one. That's not the best America can do. We're confident this will work, and we're prepared to take that argument to the American people.
That's what it's aiming at. Senator Schumer saying it's messing the country up.
83% of the middle class will either pay more in taxes or get little but crumbs. Is that what you intended? Is that this great bill that's helping the middle class? Absolutely not. This is serious stuff. We believe you're messing up America.
So here's where it stands, guys. The House will vote hours from now, roughly around noon, and then it goes to the president's desk. And you know, Ainsley, you mentioned what's to look forward to after December 25th. And according to Chairman Kevin Brady of the Ways and Means Committee, it is fatter paychecks in February.
All right, so you pay for those Christmas gifts.
That's right.
That's a good thing.
All
Thanks
right.
so much,
Griff. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Okay, you know who's really excited about this?
Who?
The President of the United States, because he just
Sure.
got a win. And remember, shortly after he was elected President of the United States, there were so many media pundits and stuff like that who warned Republicans, do not work with this new president. If you want a career in politics, stay away from him. But he was tenacious, and he kept pushing the whole Congress toward tax reform.
Yeah.
And he was so excited. He tweeted this at 2 o'clock this morning.
That's right. He tweeted saying, the United States Senate just passed the biggest in history tax cut and reform bill. Terrible individual mandate of Obamacare repealed. Goes to the House tomorrow morning for final vote. If approved, there will be a news conference at the White House at approximately 1 p.m.
All right, so the president
today.
ran on several things. There was the wall.
Yep.
There was repealing and replacing Obamacare. There was tax reform, infrastructure. Those
Crushing ISIS.
Crushing
Done.
ISIS, that's been done.
The economy.
And the
Done.
economy, that's check. Also, he's getting tax reform and repealing Obamacare, the mandate. So if you don't want to pay into it, you're not penalized. So you get choices. So it's good for the people who like Obamacare. It's good for the people who don't like Obamacare. You're not forced to do it.
Very much so. I mean, there's a massive vindication coming out today. And I think a lot of the folks in the so-called mainstream media are having to reckon with their rhetoric over the last couple of months, which is, this is a do-nothing White House. They haven't got anything done. And it's like, well, wait, they've gotten a lot done.
Absolutely.
And this bill is front and center.
And for a change, wasn't it nice, no matter if you're a Republican or not, to see the Republican Party unified like the Democrats have done?
Well,
all the Republicans in the House voted for it.
They didn't lose it.
Well, no, there were some Republicans in the House that voted against it.
The
They were
ones in
from
the
the
big
high
states,
tax states.
Well, maybe
Indeed.
I should rephrase. It was just they got 51 votes.
Mitch McConnell finally did something. That's what you're saying. He finally did something.
But
congratulations.
And the Republicans delivered against long odds and ultimately the swamp. I mean, the swamp, and Pete, you've lived down there.
Yeah.
You know what it's like. There are lobbyists and there are large forces that try to get Congress to do certain things because they've got a financial and political interest.
You were exactly right. And the other part of this is the Democrats, who we played that sound clip of Chuck Schumer and everyone. You know, it was just about, I don't know, JFK's era, 1963-64, that he passed a massive tax cut. He took the richest down from 91 to 65%. He cut corporate taxes. He cut the rate for the lowest as well. This is a Democratic Party so removed from JFK that every single Democrat voted against this bill. Are you saying that Americans don't want their money back? They don't want larger paychecks? They want more in the government? That's what they're doubling down on, that they want higher taxes for the American people.
We just heard Chuck Schumer saying in Griff's report, you're messing up America, Republicans.
Well, they need to think about the people who put them in office versus thinking about how they can just destroy this administration. It's just a referendum against Trump.
Well, it's going to be easier for the Republicans to get reelected next year than if they had to explain why they didn't get anything else done. Now they've got a major win under the belt as soon as they fix that little parliamentarian snafu.
Yeah,
apparently,
pass it again.
There were two things, and they named the bill the wrong thing. We're going to talk to Speaker.
How did they name the bill the wrong thing after all this time, Steve?
The numbers didn't match up in the House and the Senate. So anyway, we're going to talk to Speaker Paul Ryan live at 7:20 and Senator Ted Cruz live at 8:20 this morning. A big day on Capitol Hill, a big day here on Fox
yesterday
and
was
Friends.
too on Capitol Hill. Andrew McCabe was grilled for 7.5 hours, close to 8 hours, about bias within the FBI. They had a lot of questions for him, and that's why it took so long.
So you bring the deputy director of the FBI, and there's a video of him.
Right there.
He looked like a guy who wanted to get as quickly as he could from A to B and answer questions behind closed doors. Grilled, as you said, 8 hours in front of the House Intelligence Committee, and a lot of questions right now about what kind of bias may have existed inside the investigation.
And in fact, he was supposed to testify last week, but then that news about Bruce Orr, who had been a top guy at the Department of Justice, and then it was revealed Bruce Orr's wife, Nellie, apparently worked for Fusion GPS, and there she is right there, and there he is. We don't know when he's...
And then also the
about his
emails.
testimony.
Strzok's emails
Peter
were
Strzok
released.
Texts, yeah.
Right.
I mean, the text
to,
messages.
Don't call him Andrew McCabe, call him Andy, because
Right.
that's what the text
And that meeting we had in his office, all very, very curious. Trey Gowdy, actually, before he testified, said, I would be surprised if Deputy Director McCabe was in his job in a week. Then he kind of walked it back and said, you know what, I probably should have waited until I heard what he had to say.
Sure. And so he did. So we'll find out ultimately what
We really don't know what he said because it was closed door.
Right.
So.
Well, I tell you what, last night on the channel, a former deputy independent counsel joined the host and talked a little bit about why he was in there so long. Here's what he told Laura.
It tells you they're very angry at him. I mean, you're talking about a person who wouldn't understand a conflict of interest if it jumped up and bit him on the butt. And they've probably been waiting to talk to him for a long time. I mean, my God, you're talking about a lawyer whose wife took $700,000 from a Clinton crony, and he refused to recuse himself from the Clinton investigations until there was a Wall Street Journal story about it, and by then it was too late. They were closed.
You know, what's really interesting about all the testimony yesterday is the fact that there he was on Capitol Hill behind closed doors And it's 6:10 in the morning, still no leaks. Twitter was ablaze with the fact that, wait a minute, Don Jr. was behind closed doors, and suddenly there are all these leaks on other channels, and they've suggested a certain member of Congress from California might have been to blame for that. We don't know anything about that.
Maybe none of what he said was convenient to the narrative, Steve.
Could be.
I'm just saying. You never know.
Anyway, no leaks so far. We'll keep you posted.
That's right. Let's hand it over to Jillian, who has some headlines for us. Good morning.
Good morning to you guys, to you at home as well. We do have some breaking news we're following, so let's get right to this Fox News alert. At least a dozen people are dead and 7 Americans are hurt following a tragic bus crash in Mexico. The tour bus flipping over, bringing cruise ship passengers to the Mayan ruins. It's unclear what caused that crash, but a witness says there were swerve marks on the road. We do know a child is among the dead. 18 people are injured. We will keep you updated with the latest. Also breaking right now, a manhunt expanding across several states for 2 escaped inmates, including an accused killer. Ronly Diaz-Pardo and David Allen Anderson broke out of their cell in the Florida Panhandle by chipping through the wall with a shower curtain rod, then squeezing under a gate. Police say they dumped their original getaway car in North Carolina, then stole another one. Both inmates jailed for drug charges, but Pardo is also accused of murder. So new questions over whether the brand new route where an Amtrak train sped off the tracks was rushed to open. Amtrak's president now says technology designed to slow trains down was not yet active on those tracks. Investigators also looking into whether the engineer was distracted by an employee in training when the train plunged off an overpass, killing 3 people. Among the dead, Jim Hamray and Zach Wilhoit. Both men were railroad advocates. The actress, best known as the voice of Daphne on Scooby-Doo, has died. Heather North voiced the character on the cartoon series for over 30 years. North also made her way in front of the camera on the daytime soap opera Days of Our Lives in the 70s. She passed away last month, but a family friend just speaking out, saying she has been battling some sort of illness. North was 71 years old. That's a look at your headlines, guys. I'll send it back to you.
God, that takes us back.
Appreciate it.
I watched that show all the time.
I know.
Scooby-Doo or the soap?
Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, yeah. No, Scooby-Doo. And I don't like scary movies, but I liked Scooby-Doo, even though there was that a little scary at the end.
Only
kind
a
of.
little scary, yeah.
He always took off his mask.
Cartoon.
All right, coming up. Yeah, you remember? It was always Old Man Smithers or whatever. Yeah. Coming up, this baby right there, y'all, that baby should be 24 years old.
What?
You heard it right. You're going to meet the miracle newborn that everyone's talking about this morning, and we'll explain that.
And forget Russia. Was the real collusion between President Obama and Iran? Lieutenant Colonel Michael Waltz is here to break it all down for us next.
And you've seen what my house used to look like on Christmas morning. Oh, that's that kid going down to see what he got. Well, now we want to see what your house looks like on Christmas morning. What's the best gift? That was the gift. You got a air hockey table.
Oh my God!
What is the best gift? And she got an American Girl doll right there. What is the best gift you ever received? Email us your pictures, friends@foxnews.com, and that is where they got the dog.
It's an incredible allegation that any administration would ignore one terrorist group because you were trying to curry favor with another terrorist group. It is incendiary. It is worthy of investigation across several different committees of Congress.
Outraged lawmakers demanding answers as a bombshell report accuses the Obama administration of ending a DEA effort to take down Hezbollah's drug ring, letting the terror network off the hook to secure the infamous Iran deal. Fox News contributor Lieutenant Colonel Michael Waltz is a retired Green Beret and author of the great book Warrior Diplomat, and he joins us now in studio to weigh in. Colonel, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks.
So the allegation is that the Obama administration looked the other way, or directed DEA to look the other way on a drug ring they knew about for Hezbollah, Iranian-backed, in order to secure the Iran deal.